friend, how you doing? This is Sacha and you're listening to Enlivened. I began my journey into personal development because I wanted to believe that there was an alternative way of seeing the world and being myself in the world. In other words, I rejected the idea that I had to continue living a life where I was working for a paycheck to buy the things that gave me a small little boost and then having to dread my life every Sunday because I had to go back to work when somebody else needed me to work. I dreaded having to say yes. I dreaded having to respond to emails and to respond to phone calls and to respond to text messages on other people's time. I dreaded having to be on when other people needed me to be on. I didn't like being available all the time, and I didn't like the fact that I believed that I couldn't have any boundaries if somebody was giving me a paycheck. So back then, I thought, oh, my boss is paying me this amount of money. Therefore, that means I need to do absolutely everything he says. It sounds so crazy to me now, just because I would never do these things anymore. There's no other way. There's so many things that would cross my personal boundaries. And my boss was not mean or like he didn't do anything wrong. It's just so many things that other people do that they go unnoticed. So what I'm trying to say here with today's podcast is that there's just so many other things that I'm no longer available for right now. And because I stopped being available for less than my worth, it means that now I get to do better work, more on purpose work, more in service work. I get to be very, very intentional with the people that I work with. My creative juices flow. Everything that I do is 100,000%. Like my energy is either a full body yes, I want to do this, or I don't do the thing. So that means that the things that I do, I'm 1,000% into. Instead of being half-assed everywhere, which is basically what I was before. So before, this was my life before. I was half-assed at my job. When I was at my job, I was dreaming of my future. And then I came home and all I thought about was, oh my gosh, okay, what's tomorrow going to be like? And then I would stress and then I would have to lay, basically, I was saying lay, but I would have to basically be in the bath and decompress while going over the scenarios in my head. Oh my God, I need to prepare for this. I need to prepare for that, blah, blah, blah. Because I need to make sure that my boss doesn't hate me. I need to make sure my clients don't hate me. And this is a losing game. There was so much energy that was going towards not fucking up. There was so much energy that was going towards maintaining this sandcastle that wasn't really 100% authentic. And when I say this, I want to say I was in a career that I really thought was my passion. But the thing is, it's that I thought that I was an interior designer to be a creative. But I quickly realized, actually not so quickly, it took me like 2 years to realize that it wasn't creative at all. I was actually just listening to what people who, in my opinion, let's just say this. There's a reason why interior designers exist, and there's a reason why people hire them. I also realized that and this, if you're creative, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. Um, People come to you and they want a certain vision, and then they try to micromanage the whole process. And you're like, are you like, do you know that this is a bad idea? But at the same time, you are stuck in your people pleasing ways and you don't want to ruffle the feathers. So, um, basically, sometimes it sucks. And long story short, you don't get to express your creativity, which is the reason why you took the job in the first place, because you thought that you were going to be able to share your creative gifts with the world. But turns out you were meant to be used as a tool because people want what they want, and they want you to make that happen. They want the magazine, but they want it for the price of a Dollarama. Like it's like, come on, come on. So, anyways, so much frustration having to make sure that the line of profit was given to my boss. So I had to get everything done, you know, as cost effective as possible, while providing this $1 million vision to my client who was only ready to pay, super low price. So I felt so cornered. And when you feel cornered like that, being creative is really difficult. So, all this to say, what I've understood in my personal development journey is that when you try to maintain the sandcastle with all of your might, all of your energy, all of your brain activity, you spend every waking minute trying to please this vision of a sandcastle, basically fulfill that job description to get a paycheck so that you can come home and buy things that distract you from how much pain you're in. It, it's a never ending vicious cycle. And it's really hard because it's the only reality that we've been fed. We've been fed this only option of, well, you have to have a job, you have to have a predictable income, you have to have this, you have to have that. And in order to keep that job, and you think that that's the only way you'll survive, like you really believe that that's the only way you'll survive, is like you have to keep that job, you have to people please, basically like make yourself into a fraction of yourself so that you can keep this job at any cost, for so many reasons, right? Number one, because you're in fear. Number two, because oh my gosh, you could never deal with being a person who gets fired, God forbid. There's so many reasons why humans are not living authentically. And in order to be completely fulfilled, and this is my personal opinion, in order to be completely fulfilled, you have to be willing to divorce this idea that you've been fed, that there's only one way to survive and to thrive in the world. I believe that when we stop trying to maintain the sandcastle, when we no longer need the safety, that's when we get into the zone of genius. Because it's like, I don't care. I don't care if I have to maintain this sandcastle anymore. I just can't do it. My energy's not going there. The spirit that animates my body is not willing to go there anymore. My body is too heavy. I can't carry it any longer. I'm just not willing to do that. And once we let go of the attachment to security, boom, that's when the downloads hit. That's when the genius ideas come. That's when the creativity flows through our veins, through our body, through our mind. That's when the genius ideas come. And those genius ideas can only come from you. They can only come from you. They can only be original and unique and special, because they're coming through from authentic you, not from intelligent mind, logical mind, rational, indoctrinated mind. They're coming from your heart. And it's upon recognizing that you have an abundance of creativity inside of you that you can tap into the real abundance of life, the real wealth of life, the real prosperity of life. So dare to let go of the sandcastle, of the make-believe. Once you do, and if you do, and when you do, you'll be able to have a taste of what it means to live a fulfilled, purposeful life. Have a great day. I love you.